So the clown has been get. It is seemingly hideously underleveled. I don't know why I say hideously underleveled. There is no Mime Jr. in this game, so this thing can be whatever the hell kind of level it wants to be. As you can see though, Barrier is its only move, which actually did come in useful when I fought it, because I was able to hit it twice with the Rock Smash on Stinger, and I was able to weaken it and not actually kill it at all. So that was pretty bloody good. Went to +6 defense, and that's how I was able to get it down very easily. And yeah, would have made for a pretty good team member over Slumbork here, especially with that barrier of just not being able to attack at all until it got to Lord knows what level. And before it just gets like confusion at level 6, and then it just... whatever. I still stand by the fact that I would rather use it when it's part fairy. So, I also have a Venomoth, a Xatu, and a Parasect. The Parasect is holding a tiny mushroom for the record. And all these were actually found in the forest area of the Safari Zone. I missed out on a few things. I found out that Venomoth was actually encounterable in a lot of different areas. I knew the one area, just straight off the top of my head, I could find it was in Cerulean Cave, but I guess it kind of makes sense that I could find it in other places like the Safari Zone. It's normally encounterable in there. I think it's in all 3 Gen 1 games, I'm not too sure. I know it's in Yellow though, because I've seen Jish's Yellow play through enough times to know that's a thing. Also grabbed a Haunter from Route 8, a Dabra from Route 8, a Graveler from Route 45. Don't know why I hadn't picked one of these up yet, but went and got that. And then also went and got Ferret and Farfetch'd earlier today from Route 43. Yeah, Route 43 it is, the one heading up towards Lake of Rage. So that was that haul, and due to this haul, I have reached 150 court. So, 100 Pokemon left. Most of them are stuff like these evolutionary forms that I can't find in the wild. Apparently Granbull is in that sort of category, and there's a whole bunch of stone evolutions. I'm not too sure which ones I can find, which ones I can't. The ones that I know that I can find are Starmie and Vaporeon for some reason. I can find both of those in Seafoam Islands, but I've also found a Flareon and had a look to see if that was encounterable in the wild, and it just wasn't. So I'm not too sure what is up with the inconsistency there. I haven't seen any of the other evolutions yet. I will be doing that in this segment though, because I did say I was going to go and do a gym. Still not really decided on what I was going to do, which gym I was going to do, so I decided I'm just going to do another segment of just doing a whole bunch of random stuff. So that's why I'm starting here in Celadon City, because I want to go down to this old fellow in the blue, and at the cost of 4,000 Poké-Dollars, he will teach you one of these 3 moves. I'm pretty sure Salt Fairy can gain all 3 of these moves, but the one I want at the moment is Ice Beam, and I'm actually going to give it to Advent Forward. Advent Forward needing this very much because it needs a hefty power boost. It is easily the weakest Pokemon on my team, considering all the others are just naturally stronger single stage forms or evolved. So getting rid of Aurora Beam for Ice Beam, just to give this thing a little bit more strength, because it's still 4 levels away from evolution, and the whole weak thing's not gonna change anytime soon. I imagine it's probably gonna evolve after I get my 7th gym badge. The second thing I want to do is I want to go to Saffron City, and I want to go all the way over here. This is Mr. Psychic's house, as you might remember, and as you would expect, he will give you a Psychic TM, and this Psychic TM is going to be going straight onto Slumbork, and it is going to replace Confusion. So we'll go ahead and quickly do that. Let me see. There we go. Psychic on. I could easily speed this up, but for some reason I'm not really wanting to. So I believe that's probably going to be Slumbork's moveset. I might replace one of the elemental punches with Shadow Ball, just because its physical attack is slightly stronger. But we'll have to see what happens. If I can get the type coverage that I lose on Slumbork onto something else, like maybe Salt Fairy, then I might go ahead and do that. Alternatively, I could just put Shadow Ball on Salt Fairy itself, because it would probably get better use out of it. Being immune to ghosts and being able to hit them super effectively is a pretty good shout in my opinion. So I did mention that we were going to see the rest of the evolutions in this segment. That's because I'm going to head over here to where the Kimono girls are. I'm going to try to fight these. I think the last time I tried to fight one of them, their evolution was like level 30 something, so I might be a bit better prepared to deal with them on this occasion. So we're going to go ahead and save on slot 4. And we'll see how terrible this is. If it turns out they've scaled up and they're like level 60 plus, I'm going to be pissed off, but I'm pretty sure they won't be. Okay, 35's not terrible, although I am going to go ahead and just reload the save state there because I do not want to be leading with something weak to that Flareon. So we're going to switch over and bring in Conifo. Could bring in Advent forward, but I don't really trust it to take the Flareon out with Surf. I do got to give it some kind of experience at some point and try to get it evolved as soon as I possibly can, but for the time being, probably best to stick with something that can actually rip this thing a new one. Conifo I have confidence in to be able to do such a thing. And then it decides not to pay my confidence back in dividends by just flinching to that bite. That's pretty good. I don't like how much damage those bites are doing to me, but thankfully the Quick Claw got in a couple of times, got a curse up, managed to get a Rock Slide going. And so there goes the Flareon. I would check to see if its location in the Pokedex, but it's one of the two that I've already actually found. It does not make any sense for her to be green and to have a Flareon, so I guess I'm just going to make the random assumption that the blue girl that I'm about to fight next does not have a Vaporeon. And before I just eat my own words, let's see. I think Salt Fairy is a pretty solid neutral just mon to lead with here. Just because it's not weak to any of the evolutions at all, so I'll stick with this and see how it goes. Okay, so we've got Espeon. I might scout it out here and see what kind of move it decides to attack me with here. If it's going to go for a Psychic move, which it's not going to, it's just going to use a stupid Sand attack and miss. If it's going to go for a Psychic attack, I would definitely have switched into Kalima to absorb that hit. Okay, well there's the confusion. How much is that going to do? Espeon's got pretty good special attack. I could probably tank that a bit. It doesn't have great physical defense though, so Espeon is just going to get one-shotted with a crit. Good job. That's pretty good. A dead Espeon is the only good Espeon. Well, that and your own Espeon. Okay, so that's that out of the way, I guess. So that just leaves Umbreon, Vaporeon, Jolteon. So Stinger sounds like it might be a decent shout. I don't think Umbreon's the next one that you fight, though. I think it's actually Jolteon. So I think I'll just stick with Salt Fairy in the lead and see what ye old strategy of Sweet Kiss and Return does to that. If it actually is Umbreon, I'm going to be sad. Damn it. Because Stinger would have been perfect to take care of Umbreon. I just keep spamming Fury Cutter. I would have actually gotten some decent use out of it. Stupid Sand attack. I noticed in the previous battle with the Espeon, it used Sand attack once and then just opted not to use it again, I get it. And so I was just thinking that it would only use it once and then try to go onto the offensive, but obviously this Umbreon is sticking with the Sand attack strategy for one reason or another, but I managed to get the Sweet Kiss off anyway. It's using Pursuit, isn't it? Because I just tried to switch out, but it looks like here it's going to try to Pursuit me. And it has failed. Okay, so I believe that actually will mean that next turn it has a chance to snap out of Confusion. But that was actually quite interesting the way that that worked out, because Pursuit, if you don't know, can actually hit a Pokemon that's in the process of switching out. It does the damage before the Pokemon switches out, and it's actually stronger on a Pokemon that switches out. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, that one didn't do a whole lot, but obviously the intention for Fury Cutter is to just keep using it, and eventually it'll get stronger and stronger the more times you hit in a row. Obviously it can't be all all bloody gravy and roses and all that other fun stuff, because it does have a chance of missing. Which sucks, but the best exponent of it from my personal experience, geez, that did not do anywhere near as well as it should have. That actually did far less than it should have. That should have knocked it out. Did I just miss and didn't pay attention to it, or did it hitting itself reset the counter? Whatever. At this stage, I don't need to really use Fury Cutter anymore. A Rock Smash should hopefully take care of it. I just have to be able to connect it. But, no. LP Curse, RNG, just unfair hacks as it is with pretty much every Pokemon game. Whenever I'm confused, I must force myself to hit myself in confusion every single time. Okay, so that took a lot longer than it had any right to. But at least I got some kind of level up out of it. So that just leaves Vaporeon and Jolteon. And could lead with Slumbork. Nah, I think I'll just stick with Salt Fairy. Salt Fairy's just got the, Salt Fairy's got the Amulet Coin, so just leading with it and knowing that it's not going to be able to hit me super effectively just means I can walk in and basically just smash and just get a nice chunk of cash stack. I think the other ones before this one have given me about 5 grand in cash stack, so in total I'm going to make about 25 grand here, and that's probably going to push me over the 100 grand mark. So I would say at this stage that my financial problems are officially behind me. Vaporeon, known for being the evolution that has a lot of HP, so we'll go ahead and switch Salt Fairy out here and hit this thing with something that'll actually hurt it. No, Slumbork, you're not allowed to flinch in my presence. No, Slumbork, I said you're not allowed to flinch in my presence. This is literal time wasting because there's no way this Vaporeon can knock me out. So if we can just not get flinched out here, then that'd be lovely. Oh, for fuck's sake, Slumbork, are you fucking kidding me? This is ridiculous. Slumbork should be kicking this thing's ass, but no, it just decides it's not going to. Also, RNG decided to screw me over by having that one do 40 plus damage. Oh my fucking... Are you for fucking real? Alright, fuck it. We're speeding up. Because that was some bullshit. Thank you. What? After all that wasted time just to land a fucking Thunder Punch to murder this goddamn thing, and it does fuck all damage. Why? Why did that not do any damage? Jesus Christ. Alright, Kalima, get the fuck in there. This Vaporeon has done more than enough to piss me off 12 times over now. Oh, Jesus Christ. I know this thing has a whole bunch of HP, but that doesn't necessarily equate to it being a tank. And now it just knocked out Kalima. That thing had absolutely no right to be as obnoxious as it was. That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. Alright. How do we take care of the Jolteon? Well, we die to a double kick. Without being able to just hit our fucking straps here. And the fact that Conifer is weak to double kick is certainly not helping the cause, but hopefully the Quick Claw takes advantage there. So that's one miss. That's two misses. That is exactly how I wanted Quick Claw to work out. get me dug underground before it can hit me with an attack, and then just let him attack again before I emerge from the ground and smack him for 6. I'm alright with that. Now at this stage, it doesn't matter if I got the first move there, because the second dig would have taken it out. So overall, that wasn't the worst thing in the world. But that Vaporeon certainly was a bit more obnoxious than it went. What? Oh. Okay, so I guess they made the Kimono Girls mandatory to do that thing. Okay. So, does that unlock Ho-Oh immediately, or do I have to do the stuff with Suicune first? Either way, I'm fine with getting this item, because it means I don't have to worry about hunting for the damn thing. Okay, that works, I suppose. Camper, piss off. No, that's a completely useless... My god, that was egregious. If we're going to go with the Corey Graves method of speech, it was egregious. Anyhow, there was a battle in the previous segment that I elected against doing because I thought I was quite severely out-leveled. Turns out that with enough strategy, I was actually able to pull it off without save states. So we're going to go back down and we're going to go and have a look at that battle and hopefully pull it off as well as I did in the practice go. So let's what save state do I want to roll over the top of here? Yeah, we'll go 4. Okay. Who do I want for my lead? I think Slumborg makes for the best lead, because as we saw in the previous segment, his new lead is a Fortress. And once you get up to a certain point, it should... Wait, what? Hold up. Why are you not there? Excuse me? I feel like I feel like I'm in like Death of a Salesman Pokemon Redux or some shit. What the fuck is this? Anyone want to explain that one? That sounds very much like a bug. A bug as in either I was not meant to be able to fight the guys here, or I was just... Or just the sprites didn't show up. That didn't make a great deal of sense, but whatever. We're just going to go with the battle anyway. Let's see if I can put this thing to sleep, because this thing will immediately go for the Sandstorm strategy, and I do not want that to be a thing. So put that thing to sleep. It is quad weak to Fire Punch. I should be able to two-shot it. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, well, it tried to go for the substitute there, but I said no, you're not allowed to have that, so I'm okay with that. So if any of his team members have quad weaknesses, I want to take advantage of those as much as I can. Sediment is his Larvitar, which has since evolved into a Pupitar. And it's all pink and shit, although that looks more like lavender. I immediately think of Trunks when I see that colour. But it is rock water, so nothing I can't just murder the crap out of with Surf. Provided, of course, I survive this earthquake. I do not. I do not survive the earthquake. Why did I not survive that earthquake? You wanna explain that one to me? I don't think that Advent Ford had the right to die to that earthquake. Well, not so much that, but this is a Pupitar. It did... Alright, let's, oh, okay. Just put up the sandstorm now, why don't ya? I kind of wanted to counter your shtick. Whatever. I'm just going to stick with the counter, because it's just going to throw its stab move in my face, and then I'm just going to say, fuck you. You take double the damage now. Get the outspeed, rock smash. Just barely lives, you asshole. And sandstorm accounts for stinger, which sucks. So all I need now is, I guess, Kalima. Just get in there with a pursuit and get the knockout. That'll probably coerce him to bring out his Magnemite, which has since evolved into a Magneton. He has instead opted for his Peg, which for some reason isn't evolved. And Slumborg sounds decent. I'll probably just lob fire punches until this thing dies. I guess Swinub is his favorite Pokemon and he doesn't want it to evolve. It is also kind of pretty much the version mascot of this game, just because it shows up on the title screen. Now I'm pretty sure this is a generation before the Sandstorm Special Defense boost thing was applied, so if it turns out that it was, then that was literally the only thing that saw to Piggy's survival of my Fire Punch there. Well, the Sandstorm's gone. And so too is the Green Porcus. Okay, so that's Nugget. That is most certainly going to be the Magneton. At this stage, considering it's more of a special attacker, it's probably not a good idea if I curse. I think I probably should just dig immediately and hopefully I don't get screwed over. And I get screwed over by Zap Cannon. That's a 50-50 shot at missing there as well. And our critical hit sees to Conifo just being completely cleaned the fuck up. So, that's pretty much going to lose me this fight. I mean, I've got revives. So, I really shouldn't lose this fight, but revives to me feel kind of cheap. And the fact that I was able to beat this battle without having to resort to such strategies kind of makes it sad how it's A, managed to get the 50% chance at hitting, and B, get a crit to ensure that Conifo just doesn't do anything to it. But I guess the luck hacks works both ways, because that critical is... I very much needed that critical. Lastly is Sluggy. I would knock it out with Surf, but I do not have access to that. As a matter of fact, I do not have access to any move that is super effective against this thing unless I use a Revive. So in that case, let's send in Salt Fairy. For some reason it turns from being a lovely silver color to just this hideous, what is it, indigo? It looks very much indigo to me, but it looks pretty ugly, so get the Sweet Kiss off here. Smacks itself in the face, that's never a bad thing. And then I guess Slumborg, it's got Psychic. Although I think Sluggy is actually better in special defense, so that might not be the best idea. It's not doing anything to me at least, so I can at least get one of these off and see how much damage it does. Ugh. That's no good. Oh god, no. Shit. Alright. Oh, wow, really? It was only at half health. Okay, well, you know what? If you're going to do that, then screw you. I'm going to use a Revive. I'm going to use it on Conifo. And then I'm going to put you back to sleep because fuck you, you're not allowed to be awake. Obnoxious git. Swear to god, if this thing wakes up and kills me, I'm going to be pissed. I will tank one more rollout, so that should be fine. Alternatively, the Quick Claw can set in and just do that. Quick Claw sets in again, which is unfortunate because it means that whatever Sluggy has ready for me here will connect, and it is another rollout. Unless I just naturally outspeed this thing. Apparently I do not. Oh, tank like a boss. Alright, I believe that does it. Good stuff. So yeah, that was a lot more obnoxious than it had much of a right to be, but I was kind of unleveled for it. And I get a nice chunk of cash stack as well. Oh yeah, shit. Shit! I forgot you also had to fight this guy back to back, and no, he does not heal your Pokemon before the fight. So, if you held on with like 2 HP left on your last Pokemon, then too bad, you just die here. Thankfully though, he is considerably underleveled in comparison to my last opponent, so getting rid of this guy should not be too much of a problem. Except it now will be a huge problem for me because this thing has connected a sand attack, and my strategy here involves putting this thing to sleep. What's the bet now that this one turn that it stays asleep and going to miss Psychic, and then it wakes up and just goes back to its usual shtick? Like I am taking bets now. Told ya! It did not wake up immediately, but I knew that on that first turn, it was going to miss with Psychic. Jesus Christ, this thing can't even fucking two-shot a Jolteon with Psychic. Is Jolteon's special defense really that good? It's been a while since I used one. Whatever. And here I was thinking it was going to be a peaceful, not like overly long segment, and here I am 27.5 minutes into the segment staring down a shiny Dratini, which I may end up coming into possession of in this playthrough, depending on if I decide to breed Dratini with my shiny Ditto, because I still do want to show that off at some point and get a shiny out of it. Not that I intend to use it, but it'd be cool to just show it off. Be like, yay, I done has a Sparkler. Alright, so there goes Cheese Crusader. And you actually do get this nice little reward. Dynamic values. I don't know where the phrase dynamic values came from, but I will be showing this off just as soon as I'm done with all this exposition. And then of course I have to... Can you stop? Stop with the exposition. You're wasting my time. Thank you. So once you've done this, you have this access here. This access here. And now that we've got this turned on, whenever we run into a wild Pokemon, it will show us its DV spread. So let's go ahead and run into, let's just say it's the middle of the day, let's just run into a freaking Homonite. Nope, but that's, whatever. So here we go. I believe, yeah, it's a bit primitive because it's just a whole bunch of numbers that you probably won't understand. But the first 2 digits, I believe, are its HP. The second set is attack. The third set is defense. The fourth set, I think, is special. Yeah, I think the fourth set is... The fourth set is either speed or special. The difference between, like, the positioning of the two has always been a bit weird. I'll have to have a little bit of a... I'll have to have another look at that and see where it shows up. Because if you look in the stat screen... yeah, it shows speed before special. And each of the 4 IVs that aren't HP here, they add a certain value to the HP IV. Or DV in this case. And the reason it's got 14 is because those first 3 are all odd numbers and the last one is an even number. I can't remember if it was speed that added 1 or if it's special. If it is speed, then it's got the speed DV of 12. and then and obviously the alternative is it's got the special DV of 12, but overall, if I wanted to use a Diglett on the team, I would not be using this one because it's got a low attack DV, and that's the attacking stat that I would want in it. So for something like a Diglett, I would certainly be going after a male one, because the male ones just have better DVs in attack anyway. This can also help you out when you're in the bug catching contest, because a higher DV spread on a Pokemon means you get more points out of it. So that's about it. We are just past the 30-minute mark in this segment. Next time I will be doing a gym of some variety. I will probably just decide on it myself. It will be a Johto gym, as I said, I think in the description of the previous segment. But it's not going to be Jasmine, because her team at the moment is exactly the same as it is in Vanilla Gold Silver Crystal. That plus she has no lackey, so if I went just straight in there and knocked her over, it would probably take about 5 minutes. So I will probably decide on that whenever. I don't think there's any other places I can really go to catch wild Pokemon. So I guess we're just going to round out the working week with just knocking over some schmuck and their lackeys. Alright, I will see you for that. Well, I've only got myself to blame for this situation that I'm in now. I told myself, if I walk in here, I probably am going to end up running into a shiny. That would just be my luck. And, as the fickle figment of non-existence that RNGesus is, he decided to oblige. So, I'm at Cerulean Cave right now, hence why this Primeape is exceedingly higher level than what I am. And, the reason for that is because I decided just for shits and gigs to go and get the Super Rod. And I decided to go fishing in certain places, and then I realized, when I went to go fishing in Cerulean Cave, I found a lantern, I caught it, and then I realized I had a smoke ball in my inventory, so I decided to fit it onto Kalima, and just sort of go exploring the place, marking down which Pokemon are actually in here so that I can go and catch them later. On my way out, I don't even know why I didn't just dig. I decided instead on my way out to just, I just decided to walk out. And I have been greeted with this shiny Primeape. Ugh. I don't know why I'm quivering. I am just like... Oh my god, I've so lost my shit. Am I gonna get knocked down here? Yep. I'm honestly wondering if I should just start lobbing balls at this thing. I've got a save state, so there is no way that this thing's going to not be caught, but... Come on, game. This is the third playthrough in a row where I found a shiny in the wild off-screen. Is it really that hard to just have this thing show up at some point on screen? Is that too much to ask? I didn't even know why I'm shaking. I'm just like... Yeah, I'm trembling. I don't know why I'm trembling. There's literally no way I'm not going to get this frickin' Primeape. Save state here again. I've got 7 Ultra Balls. I'll probably just use one of those. I don't want to be just wasting Pokeballs or anything like that. Plus, I might as well use a better ball since it's kind of rare in that regard. And to answer the obvious question here, no, it is not going to be added to the team. It is far too high a level and would pretty much break the remainder of the first half of the playthrough. That, and I've already used a Primeape in Leaf Green, so... We're just going to have this added to the Pokédex just a little bit earlier than it normally would, and it can be all sparkly and shit and basically just gather dust in the PC for all of eternity. It already looks like a ball of dust as it is, so it shouldn't be too difficult for it to do that. We've already had a look at its DVs, 0 and HP 10 and everything else, which is kind of nicely rounded. But, yeah. I found out there was a lot of shit down in Cerulean Cave that I don't have to go and evolve into. Particularly on the ground floor, it was bloody ridiculous amounts of Pokemon down there. But I figured I might as well, while I'm here, since I'm going to have another look at the Primeape here anyway, I figured I might as well show off the other stuff that I've got. because I went and did a bit of a raid of some areas to find some wild Pokemon and catch them and stuff like that, so I figured I might as well show those off. I got the Lantern, as I mentioned earlier. That was in a Cerulean Cave. I also picked up Dragonair and Politoed. Politoed can be found in Cerulean Cave as well, but this one I actually picked up from the Safari Zone. Dragonair is about where you'd expect for it to be. It's on Route 45. It's in Dragon's Den in the Safari Zone, so that's about where you'd expect for it to be. Picked up a Slowbro from down in Slowpoke's Well. Down in that basement floor, there's just some random NPC that looks kind of like Gold, who identifies themselves as, I think, Honeybun, and leads with a level 58 Slowbro, so I'm not going to have a bar of that until much later on in the playthrough. Also grabbed a Skiploom from Route 14, I think it is. I'm not too sure if I can find Jumpluff anywhere, but I could easily just save state, give this thing a rare candy, because it'll evolve with one level up, so I can do that. I think that's about it. For God's sake. Why did I have to find this thing? It's the second goddamn shiny I found in Cerulean Cave in 2 different bloody ROM hacks. The first one was that bloody Parasect in Fire Red Omega, which again didn't get used because in that case it was like really almost the end of the freaking game. But here wouldn't really be fair on the next few gym leaders that I face if I just had this ballsy motherfucker on my team. Oh my god. And that just makes the segment go longer as well, this fucking thing did, so... Yeah, I think I'm about done. I think I'm around about 110% done with this. One of these days I'll find a shiny on screen, I promise. It will happen. But for now, let's just take this one for what it is.